folks. In the world in general, but particularly in the education space, I find that a lot of times innovation is considered a synonym with technology. And while some technology is really innovative and has a lot of power for the future, they are not necessarily exclusive to one another. In fact, some of my most favorite innovative practices aren't technology based at all, but they're more structured around thinking about education in general and changing up some pedagogy. So, technology, there are some cool things out there. Things like VR and AR, I'm excited to see what that could bring in the future. But then others I feel even a little wary about. Proctoring with AI, for example, I think brings up important concerns regarding ethics, particularly surrounding equity and inclusivity and security. So technology can be innovative, but it needs to be done with a really thoughtful, ethical mindset. These videos that I'm creating are often talking about some innovative practices. Just the idea of designing with your student's mental illness in mind is an innovative practice. It is not something that is regularly considered when people are designing courses. It's becoming more and more out there, especially with the pandemic. More faculty are noticing that they need to be thinking about what are their students' mental health. But that is in and of itself is an innovative practice. Other innovative practices are, universal design learning in general, which you maybe wouldn't think is an innovative practice. It's just something that we should do, but it's still something that it's still innovative. It's still work that we need to be working on. There are other, more general things about rethinking education. Grades are a great example. Do grades help propel students to learn? It gives them that accountability? Or are students so focused on grades that they just care about the A and they're not actually really learning the material? Also, if we're going to talk about students with mental illness again, is it just stifling students that they get so anxious and then they can't grade well and it's not actually indicative of their learning? So that's something more structurally to consider. And then we can look at pedagogy, from flipped learning classrooms where you deliver your lectures as homework and you spend more of the classroom time for discussions and assignments, or authentic assessments where you, rather than a traditional test or a quiz that demonstrates your students' knowledge, that you are having them demonstrate through other types of assessments that really get to show more of their learning, sometimes on a more of a hands-on sort of way. And this is just a beginning sampling of all the innovative things that you could consider about learning. And as you can see, most of these aren't technology based. You could do them in a classroom or you could transfer them into an online classroom. In other videos, I'll tease out some of these concepts more and more, but just thinking about how innovation doesn't have to be technology. Technology can be a great good, but there's lots of other things that you can do to innovate your classroom.